Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Mac and Jack Talks NBA. And today we want to talk about something historic. The Game 3 of the Phoenix Suns versus the Los Angeles Clippers. It's historic because the Clippers actually have never won a Western Conference Finals ever in their sad history. So Jack, what did you see during that game?
Yeah, so what I really noticed was that Chris Paul and Devin Booker was really out of their game because their stats, at least for Chris Paul, his stats were 5 of 21, 15 points, 12 assists. That's not bad for his first performance out of 2 weeks being in the COVID protocol, but I believe it's not on par to his vegan Paul God level, point God level stats. And I can really tell that either Devin Booker was really exhausted, or not sure if it was because of Pat Bev's headbutt to him in Game 2, or he's not just accustomed to wearing the face mask yet. But I can feel that he really wasn't playing with himself because just even looking back at the highlights, out of the whole highlights, what I saw was more of Cameron Payne, Chris Paul elbow jumpers as usual, a few Devin Booker slashes, and maybe 2 to 3 DeAndre Ayton lobs or just dunks. Most of it was either Cameron Payne slashing, or either it was Mikal Bridges trying to hit those tough contested mid-range J's that would be deemed inefficient nowadays by other teams. And then for the Los Angeles Clippers side, I gotta say, you gotta give credit to Ty Lue for being so ballsy in starting Terrence Mann into the starting lineup in place of Marcus Morris Sr. and restarting Zubac. Like, those two, I believe, besides Reggie Jackson and Paul George's point contribution, I believe those two players, Terrence Mann and Zubac, actually dictated the whole game in terms of energy, hustle, and all the whole, because Terrence Mann got quite a bit of offensive rebounds when Paul George or either Reggie Jackson was slashing in like a transition, fast break, but either they couldn't control their bodies or so. Terrence Mann got a few crucial offensive rebounds, and he attacked the paint a lot more. Zubac was being a defensive anchor by blocking Chris Paul, Cameron Payne, even Devin Booker, and having a few great offensive possessions himself by dunking while he was being the roll man in the pick and roll situation. I believe that was really crucial in terms of their third quarter run, where they outscored Phoenix Suns 21-3. What did you see?
I know some of our listeners always say Jack always agrees with Mac. Mac always agrees with Jack. But once again, I gotta agree with Jack. I agree with pretty much everything. I would say 100% of everything you said. It was a close game in the first half. The Suns versus the Clippers. Mikal Bridges played well.
Cameron
Payne played well. Cam Johnson, especially in the third quarter and fourth quarter, defensively broke down. He let Paul George, Terrence Mann drive in. He went away from Reggie Jackson, allowing Reggie Jackson, who is playing out of his mind, who in the regular season was scoring about 10-11 points and now has almost doubled it to 18 points per game and shooting an even higher field goal and three-point percentage. I agree
with you.
It is just destroying the Suns. The perimeter defense that the Suns are lacking, allowing Paul George to go in there, do layups. It's a little bit ugly because Paul George is no longer a super strong finisher. Terrence Mann is not super athletic, so they had to catch the offensive rebound and finish it. But because of the breakdown in defense by the Suns, it allowed the Clippers to do so. I totally agree. Shout out to Ty Lue. He made many adjustments that a lot of coaches would not make, especially the stubborn Doc Rivers. Doc, I kind of love you, man, but every season you're making that love, you're chipping away at that love. I do not believe if Doc Rivers was still the head coach of the Los Angeles Clippers, he would have taken the good Morris, the senior, out, inserting Zubac and Terrence Mann in the starting lineup. And that, I think, made a huge difference.
I totally agree with you. If it was Doc Rivers, he would rather just keep their players' egos because they don't want to piss off the superstars like Paul George or Kawhi Leonard. But at times like these, when it matters most, that's what you play the whole season for. That's what the season is on the line. You got to make adjustments, which is why you can say that they broke down because they couldn't adjust to in the Philadelphia 76ers versus Atlanta Hawks Game 7. They got torched by Kevin Hooters, whose generally his name is not well known to the mass media. He himself scored 27 points in that game to close out the series against the 76ers when 76ers in terms on the book that they're more talented than the Atlanta Hawks, because let's be honest, besides Danilo Gallinari, a good defensive anchor like Clint Capella, your superstar Trae Young, Bogdan Bogdanovic, and Sweet Lou. But then Sweet Lou wasn't really playing consistent because he didn't get much minutes and stuff, so you can't really blame him. But he was having a great series. So, in terms of the books, you have a superstar like Ben Simmons. At least people consume it as superstar, or Trash Simmons. As those who watched last week's episode would know, Trash Simmons is Trash Simmons. But you have a Steph Curry, who has been balling out this whole playoff series. His regular season averages are around 12 to 13 points per game, and around 46% or so. But in the playoffs, he is averaging 18 to 19 points per game on 58% field goal percentage. He upped it by at least 8 to 10%. Not to mention, his 3-point percentage was 50.1% on a 3-point. If you're not able to even make use of honestly, in that series, the only thing that was effective was the Steph Curry and the Joel Embiid two-man games, because they were torching it inside out. But I'm not sure how much the left knee meniscus tear affected Joel Embiid, but I really do hope that you try to keep yourself healthy through regular seasons and advance more further into the playoffs by being healthy, because I know you did whatever you can for Philly. As you said it yourself, you can hate the Philly fans, can hate you all you want. You did your best. I totally agree with you that it was due to Trash Simmons and Doc Rivers, who really just gave the team the win to close the series. So I don't blame Joel Embiid, Steph Curry, or even Tobias Harris, because Tobias Harris only really had that one terrible game, and it was like game 5 or 6. I don't blame him. You can't constantly play at a high level. Even the great point guards like Vegan Paul, Trae Young, Devin Booker, Giannis Antetokounmpo,
They have a bad night.
James Harden, Kyrie Irving. I wouldn't say Kevin Durant, because I don't think I've ever seen Kevin Durant have a bad game. No. So I can see why, if it was Doc Rivers coaching the Los Angeles Clippers, as Nelson stated, they would have been out by the first round already. Let's be honest. It wasn't an easy first round against the Dallas Mavericks already, because Dallas Mavericks took the Los Angeles Clippers to Game 7, and they weren't even considered title favorites. Yeah, they got a high standing, 5th seed, but that wasn't. Let's be honest, that roster itself is not title contention because you have a very inconsistent Kristaps Porzingis. Like, bro, I don't know how much your health or your lack of shot attempts, or you didn't get where your sweet spots were. But dude, all I have been hearing is your complaints about, oh, I don't know why I wasn't really getting my sweet spots. That's why I wasn't performing really nicely. Don't be a joke, dude.
He scored 13 points per game.
You scored 13 points per game, and there were several games where you had so many wide open 3-pointers, and you bonked it, you missed it, you hit towards the backboard. Dude, you're supposed to be called the unicorn. No. If you're a unicorn, you can't even hit the rim. What you doing, bro? Like, I'm disappointed. Like, I can see why Luka Doncic was complaining, but Luka, dude, when you signed up to play in the professional league, you gotta stop being a diva. As much as you're a generational talent like Michael Jordan, like Luka, that's why you have a nickname, Luka Magic. I don't want to hear excuses about your incompetence to lead the team to win a championship, to bring Dallas back to another champion. Even Dirk Nowitzki, the great Durka. One leg turnaround, fade away, Durka. Like, if he himself took such a long process to win that 2011 title,
his lone championship, but that itself was more valuable to the franchise itself already. He wanted the right way. He never complained about wanting to join another team, want to sign whoever superstars to create a super team. That is how you win it the right way. To be fair, Durka is a very, very special player. I was gonna say it might be because he's European, but Luka Doncic is European as well, so I don't know.
And he was the youngest EuroLeague MVP in the...
Durka?
No,
Luka. Yeah.
Like,
I think at 16, MVP
16 or 17.
Real Madrid.
Even he got recognitions from Goran Dragic when they were playing for the Slovenian nationals teams in the FIBA, like, internationals. Like, that comes to show you if you got recognition from a great left-hand European player from Goran Dragic, who is not even as talented as Luka Doncic. You really just gotta stop complaining about all these little minor stuff. It's either you win it the right way, or you just do what the coaches tell you to, because coaches also play a big factor into a contending team.
I agree. Keep more of your complaints internal. Talk to your GM. Talk to your head coach, talk to the assistant coaches, talk to your teammates. There's no point venting out to the fans so much. Your body language is bad. It brings down the team morale. I understand it's very frustrating. Kristaps Porzingis, the unicorn, is not playing like a unicorn. He's like playing like a 20-year-old white horse with a broken leg. I understand that, but keep it internal. And Durka is a very, very, very special breed. I would only put him with Tim Duncan as the only players that never ever complain, although Tim Duncan has won and has been in the winning Spurs culture every year. So, Damian Lillard as well, never complain. So, to wrap this up, we want to see, going back to original storyline, we want to see the Phoenix Suns win. We want to see the point guard playing well. We believe
Vegan
Paul, VP3. Eat more Beyond Meat burgers.
And Devin Booker, man, you gotta play better, man.
D-Book, get used to that mask. Sleep with that mask. Go to dates with Kendall Jenner with that mask on. And drink those 818 tequila with that mask on.
Yeah, man.
You can do it. I believe in you. Peace out.